What is going on YouTube? STIPE here from Unique Chrysler, and today I'm doing a video on how much you can negotiate off a JL Wrangler. Now this is going to cover the Sport, Sahara, and Rubicon models, in 2-door and 4-door models, and I'm kind of going to give you a generic amount of money that you can typically negotiate off of these Jeeps. So first off, if you are familiar with the models, you'll understand that the Rubicon is typically the most expensive, and for obvious reasons. It would be because it is the most off-road capable Jeep Wrangler. Now I'm not going to get into specifics on the Rubicon and the models and all of that. I've done videos on that previously, so for now I'm just going to be talking about the price and all of that, and kind of the differences on how much you can negotiate between all of them. So typically an average that you can negotiate and how much profit is in one of these is typically, profit wise, you're looking at anywhere from, let's say, $2,000 to $5,000 in profit. And again, that varies on different models. The more options there are, the more valuable that car is, and the more profit there will be in it for a dealership. Now let's start off with the Sahara 4-door Unlimited, and the reason why I'm going to start off with this is probably because this is going to be the most common JL Wrangler that is going to be bought. So typically a 4-door Sahara Wrangler, you're going to be looking at about, $3,800, $4,000 profit on average, around there. So let's say you can negotiate $4,000 off for sure from a dealership. Most dealerships you can probably negotiate an extra $1,000 to $2,000 on top of that. So usually you're looking at about $6,000 off you can negotiate, plus any incentives that are going on in that month. This is both for the US and Canada. They both have typically around the same amount of profit. The US might have a tad less just because of the dollar difference, but for the most part, I'm sure in the US you can negotiate about $6,000 off window sticker price on a Wrangler. Now I'm going to show you the window sticker, and when I talk about window sticker, I mean the actual price that Chrysler sets up, not the dealer markups or anything like that. So this is a Chrysler window sticker. When you look at it, this is the base price of where the vehicle starts at, and this here is what the total price is after you add all of these options. And as you can see, there's prices there next to these options. So most of the time I get people telling me that they have dealer markups. Oh, that's crazy. How can you be asking this much? So now keep in mind, those dollars you just saw are in Canadian dollars. In the US, I've had people on Hellcat videos go like, oh, here we go, dealers with dealer markups and all this stuff. No, that's just Canadian pricing. Obviously Canadian pricing is going to be higher than US pricing. So if you are familiar with the pricing in the US, I'm not going to go over the pricing and all of that. I'm just talking about how much you can negotiate and kind of walking you through the window sticker, because the window sticker is the exact same in the Canada and the US, the way it's set up. So that is the actual price that Chrysler sets. It's not the dealer marking it up or anything like that. That is the legitimate window sticker price. If they are charging more than that, you can guaranteed get more off. Now for a JL Wrangler, I don't think they're going to be marking them up, because if you can see here, I've got a ton sitting up on this hill, and some of them have grass growing that is like 2-3 feet long in certain spots. So obviously they've been sitting around for quite a bit, not a long time. Obviously the JL hasn't been out for too long, but definitely a couple months they've been here for now, and you can definitely negotiate some off. So now if we were talking about the obviously there's no 2-door Sahara anymore. Let's say we're talking about a 2-door Sport base. You're looking at about $1,800 profit, $2,000 profit on average. And like I said, on those you can probably negotiate, maybe make a dealership take $1,000 loss. So let's say $3,000 on average you can get off. Now let's say it's a loaded Sport, a 4-door Unlimited, you're probably looking at about $2,800 to $3,000 in profit, plus they'll probably take $1,000 loss, about $4,000 you can get off on a Sport Unlimited. So now the Rubicon will have the most profit. If you load one up completely 4-door Unlimited Rubicon, you're looking at probably a tad over $5,000 in profit. Usually you can probably negotiate off a Rubicon $7,000. I would not be surprised if you guys were able to do that. I've had customers who I've given $7,000 off to, so I'm sure dealerships can do it. And like I said, I do work at a Chrysler store. I'm in marketing and sales right now. I do a bit of both, more marketing though. And I know just from when I was in sales that you could usually get about $7,000 off a Rubicon. Now keep in mind, again, incentives and stuff like that apply after this, and all of that. And obviously taxes and that will be on top of the price. But for the most part, yeah, usually you can negotiate about $7,000 off a fully loaded Rubicon. A two-door fully loaded Rubicon probably has about same amount of profit, maybe a tad less. Let's say $6,000 you can negotiate off of one, $6,500. But yeah, typically that's the price range. Now, if you're negotiating and you have one of these things called a control number, a control number is, let's say you have a family friend or a family member who works at the Chrysler plant, or you're a factory employee for that matter. What that means is that you can actually get 5% under cost, and they're going to tell you they're going to give it to you for cost, because technically you're supposed to just, as a dealer, you give that person cost for sure, and most dealerships will apply by that rule. Our dealership does. As soon as someone shows us a 5% or coupon, we as a factory employee, we guarantee to give you cost. We don't negotiate or anything like that. We give you cost. The thing is though, we get 5% of the MSRP's cost kicked back to us. I don't know if that makes sense. So let's say the kickback is $2,000. Yes, we sold the vehicle to you for cost. However, we got $2,000 kicked back to us from Chrysler. Well, I'm here to tell you that you can actually get that extra $2,000 as well on top of your deal if you negotiate. So even though, yes, that dealership is probably giving you that vehicle for cost, you can still negotiate more on top of that. And usually what you do is whatever the MSRP is, take 5% of that, and that's what you can negotiate on top of whatever cost they're giving you. That's typically what I would recommend for most people. That's how I do things when I am negotiating with a 5% coupon, because I do have a family employee who does work at the factory plant here in Brampton. So if you guys do have one of those, or you have a 2% coupon, which is you're affiliated with a company that Chrysler supports, or you're affiliated or family members affiliated with them, you get a 2% coupon, which is pretty much the same thing. They get a kickback of 2% of the MSRP, which you can also negotiate as well. So that's kind of a quick video, guys, on how much you can negotiate off of these Wranglers. I mean, if you're really good at it and you know what you're doing, you can probably negotiate about $8-9 grand off of one. If you really shop around and look at everything, you can probably get there on a fully loaded like Rubicon. But that's pretty much the video. I mean, don't get discouraged if a dealership denies you right away and says that it's insanity. Trust me, you can negotiate these amounts off of these cars. Now, to the people who think, you know, dealerships make, you know, $15,000 to $10,000 profit on each car, you're wrong. Dealerships don't make nearly that much money anymore. They just don't make that kind of money anymore. And if you look even on websites, they'll show you the cost sheets on Wranglers and just cars in general, and you'll see most dealerships, unless you're talking about really high-end stores or high-end cars, then they make around there. Like, I think the most profitable car for us right now is the Jeep Grand Cherokee Trackhawk, and that's probably just shy of $11,000 in profit. So they don't make that much money as you would think on the vehicles. They make it in other places like warranties and things like that, which I'll do a video on as far as whether you should buy extended warranties and all of that. But thank you for watching. If you guys do have any questions, please comment down below, and I'll be back with more videos. Thanks.